My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. Jeff Sessions is out. I've been saying this forever. The video below in the pinned comment is just one of many times I've stated after midterms, Sessions will be out. Rosenstein's next. Jeff Sessions' resignation paves the way for Clinton indictments, which I've been saying forever. To the amusement of people on the left who claim to dislike Clinton, but always defend her. Isn't that interesting? Hit subscribe. The you know what is going down. I want to talk about something important. It is very, very important to have a free press, which is why Julian Assange should be free. Julian Assange should be free. If people care about what took place today with Jim Acosta, and they don't care about Julian Assange, well, that says something. So number one, Julian Assange is a publisher. WikiLeaks is a media organization. This is according to UK courts. If anyone should be worried about free press, or if people, I should say, if people are worried about the press being free or freedom of speech, they should be extremely concerned. They should be livid about what has taken place with Julian Assange. Assange should be free, and he should not be dealing with everything he's dealing with right now. So God bless him. He should be free, and God bless his amazing mother, Mrs. Christine Assange, who is a wonderful, wonderful human being who is fighting every day for the freedom of her son. That, when you talk about freedom of speech, when you talk about freedom of the press, that's what, first and foremost, everyone should be thinking of. Now that I've kind of explained what's really going on in terms of the freedom of the press issue, Jim Acosta, CNN, they have an agenda. They have not just a vantage point. They have not just a bias. They have a clear and concise and distinct political agenda. They have a political objective. They have a political goal, and it's more than just reporting. It's advocacy. They're essentially lobbyists. Now, they're still journalists. They're still part of the press. But they have gone into the lobbyist slash activist slash Democratic Party newsletter arena. Jim Acosta, what he did was not only horrendous, but his White House credentials have been revoked, and I applaud President Trump, and I applaud the White House on that. White House pulls CNN reporter Jim Acosta's pass after contentious news conference. So in a stunning break with protocol, the White House said Wednesday night that it's suspending the press pass of CNN's Jim Acosta until further notice. Look, even if you disagree with Trump's words or description of the migrants, the caravan or the migrants, heading to the United States of America, you don't have a right to berate the President of the United States. When you go from simply asking a question to refusing to give a microphone to a female staffer, where are the feminists? Where are the feminists? Where are the people who said that Bernie Sanders pointing was sexist? Where are the people who said that Bernie Sanders shouting was sexist? You already have Keith Ellison, who won, with people who voted for him who said that Kavanaugh shouldn't be on the Supreme Court. The hypocrisy, the double standard is overwhelming. They don't care about the Me Too movement. People on the left care about power. They'll utilize the Me Too movement against Kavanaugh. They'll sweep all the allegations under the rug with Ellison. But what Acosta did today was obscene. It was vile. You can't hide behind freedom of the press. You can't say, oh, well, this is part of the First Amendment. if you have already asked your question, nobody's stopped you from asking your question, and you want to continue to grandstand. This is not, Jim Acosta is not, we didn't vote for him to berate Trump. This is not about venting your anger or your emotion or your political disagreement with the president or your inability to understand why he uses certain words. This is about asking your question as a White House reporter and sitting the you-know-what down. I don't do profanity alerts anymore, but sit the you-know-what down once you ask your question. Sit down, ask your question, and sit down. Do your job. Ask your question and sit down. When you have a female staffer giving you better believe if it was assuming the type of guy Jim Acosta is. If it was a man trying to pull the microphone, he would probably just, here you go. But it was a female, so he kept, and she tried, and that was rude. That was a very sexist thing to do. I'm just, where are the feminists? Where are the New York Times writers? If the tables were reversed, this would be a cause célèbre. This would be the biggest travesty. Again, they accused Bernie Sanders of sexism for pointing and shouting, and I'm not even joking about that. There are articles. Jim Acosta has no right to berate the president. He has every right to ask questions and then sit the you-know-what down. I don't care what he thinks about a certain word. Do I even use that word do I use the word invasion? No, I actually don't. I don't, I have friends who are dreamers. I want them to become citizens. So I don't use the word invasion. But if Trump did, that is a political issue that has nothing to do with Jim Acosta's opinion. And by the way, he already asked the question. Trump already answered. It should have been end of story, but it wasn't. President Obama was not treated this way. Bush, the worst president of all time, wasn't treated this way. And between the destruction of Libya, let's put it this way. A word used to describe migrants was given more scrutiny by CNN than Obama and Clinton's failed NATO intervention in Libya that led to the absolute destruction of Libya. And Bush's conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, our initial invasion, actually that was an invasion, and Bush was never taken to task regarding that in the press. If anything, what's his name? CBS Dan Rather lost his job. So the press is now an advocacy group for Democrats. And on a different note, I fear that in the long run, President Trump could lose this battle if he doesn't adapt. He has to now give one-word answers and just stay silent. He has to also have more one-on-one interviews with CBS, NBC, even CNN, ABC, even MSNBC. Sit down with them, even if they're going to try to berate him and try to get him to say something that they spin. He needs to communicate his achievements and articulate the successful aspects of his presidency. Americans don't know. It seems that most Democrats don't know we have a great economy. One can assume that most Democrats don't care about peace between North and South Korea. He needs to speak to people on the left, President Trump, and he can't have, because there are millions of people who are saying, did you see what Trump did to Acosta? Did you see what Trump did to Acosta? So whereas you and I, the amazing Lucas has a great segment on the Acosta thing, Brandon Turner has a great segment. There's a lot of conservatives, a lot of people in the center, to the right of center, who have great takes on all of this. But we're not the Trump supporters and and alt media, whereas we all see that this was obviously horrendous. Jim Acosta is acted like an imbecile and a buffoon. Millions upon millions of people, and I learned this yesterday when the House flipped, and I didn't think it would. Millions upon millions of people are being deceived by the media, and they're being the gaslighting of the media is just unbelievable. Gaslighting by the media is unbelievable. They're trying every single attempt, dirty tricks, desperate attempt, these disingenuous, insidious, vile, disgusting attempts by the media to paint Trump as this monster, even when they're wrong. Acosta was 100% wrong. He would never treat any other political figure in that manner. He wouldn't do that. If Theresa May came to the United States and she actually used a word he didn't agree with, he wouldn't do that. With Trump, he takes the liberty to do that because it's by design. It is a manipulative, strategic tactic that worked, and it's unfortunately working. So I guess, in conclusion, I would just say that President Trump has to find a way to circumvent this insanity, and he can't simply rely on the logic and the rational thought process of just normal, everyday people. Normal, everyday people would not allow themselves to be treated in the way Acosta has treated Trump, or in this belligerent manner. Most people would say, you know what, take a hike in less than civil terms. Trump obviously can't. But what's taking place is this long, never-ending, protracted media battle that the media will win eventually if Trump doesn't circumvent these types of interactions, and if he doesn't take the battle to their territory. He has to take the battle to them, which means he needs to go to CNN, MSNBC, sit down, have these interviews with them. If he offers, they'll do it for ratings. And the more that people see him having a discussion, and he has to keep his cool, but the more that people see him on the left having this discussion, the less they can demonize him. Give me your thoughts below, and the less they can use these staged events, the Jim Acosta, the less they can say, you see, he's this monster, he's this ogre. Also, what he did to that lady was terrible. It's not even like the kind of, just the average, oh my God, that's sexist. No, that was not only sexist, it was rude. It has no place in American society. If a man or a woman, if you're a White House reporter and someone takes the mic from you, give them the mic. If it's a White House staffer, give them the mic. If it's a female, a woman, tries to take the microphone away, and you hold that microphone like you're Jim Acosta, you are the antithesis of everything the left claims to be. I'll just leave it at that. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. You definitely want to watch this channel. You definitely want to watch this channel because very few people, I came from the left, I'm now a Trump supporter, but very few people have been talking about all of this since day one. Hit subscribe right now. We're on our way to 125,000 subscribers. And check out my live streams. They're epic. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you. Have a great day, evening. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you.